Have you ever been told to choose between a loved one and a hobby? It sounds absurd, doesn't it? But that's precisely the predicament a young woman found herself in. Her boyfriend issued a shocking ultimatum: ditch the audiobooks or ditch him. Her crime? She enjoyed listening to male-narrated audiobooks, particularly those with romantic storylines. He argued that her enjoyment suggested a lack of commitment to their relationship. He claimed it made him uncomfortable. She was baffled. Her audiobook habit was harmless. She used headphones, indulged in her literary escapes during her downtime, and paid for her Audible subscription. She didn't even listen to anything remotely erotic. How could her choice of entertainment be a threat to their relationship? The situation seemed surreal, like something out of a bad sitcom. She found herself questioning his sanity. Was he serious? The tension reached its peak one evening while she was multitasking like a pro. Dinner bubbled on the stove, the laundry whirred in the background, and she was immersed in a captivating audiobook. Suddenly, her peaceful bubble burst. Her boyfriend, in a display of childish frustration, yanked the headphone cord, abruptly severing her connection to the story. She flinched at the unexpected assault. Anger surged, hot and fast. The action felt invasive. It was a violation of her personal space and her love for the written word. "What are you doing?" she demanded, her voice a mixture of disbelief and fury. His response was a muttered justification, a mumble about the voice thing and how it made him feel. It was the same tired argument they'd been circling for weeks. The argument escalated. He accused her of being too invested in fictional worlds, of seeking solace in the voices of other men. Her frustration grew. This wasn't about the audiobooks, this was about control. As his accusations flew, she couldn't help but point out the glaring hypocrisy of the situation. "Oh, so I can't listen to a romantic scene in a book, but you can spend hours glued to your video games filled with violence and scantily clad women?" He dismissed her argument, claiming it was different. Video games were just a way to unwind, a harmless pastime. Her audiobooks, however, were a direct threat to their relationship. The absurdity of it all threatened to send her into orbit. His double standards were astounding. He seemed oblivious to the irony of policing her choice of entertainment while indulging in his own questionable media consumption. Section 4. A counter-ultimatum. Fed up with his controlling behavior, she decided to fight fire with fire. "Fine," she retorted, her voice laced with sarcasm. "How about this? I'll stop listening to my audiobooks if you give up porn and video games." His reaction was explosive. He accused her of being unreasonable, of comparing apples to oranges. His anger seemed to escalate with every word, his voice rising in pitch and volume. "This is different," he roared, his face flushed. "This is about you choosing those men over me." She rolled her eyes, exasperated. "They're fictional characters, read by voice actors. It's called enjoying a good story. It's not a competition, and it's certainly not a betrayal." His inability to grasp the simplicity of her argument was infuriating. It was as if he was deliberately misunderstanding her, choosing to be threatened by something as innocuous as an audiobook. Section 5. A temporary truce, or not. The argument eventually cooled, leaving a residue of tension in its wake. They reached a fragile truce, a temporary ceasefire in the audiobook war. He promised to be more understanding, and she, in turn, promised to be more mindful of his feelings. For a while, things seemed to settle, but a nagging feeling lingered in the back of her mind. His insecurity, his need to control her every move, it felt like a red flag waving in the wind. Her instincts proved right. She soon discovered that her boyfriend, the champion of commitment and fidelity, had been engaging in a passionate affair with a co-worker. The irony was almost laughable. All that fuss about her audiobooks while he was out there living out his own romantic subplot. Section 6. The importance of respect in hobbies. The audiobook ultimatum may have seemed like a bizarre and isolated incident, but it highlighted a much deeper issue. It exposed the cracks in their relationship, revealing a pattern of control and a lack of respect for individual interests. Relationships thrive on mutual respect, trust, and the freedom to be oneself. Attempting to control a partner's hobbies and interests is not a sign of love, it's a sign of insecurity and a need for dominance. Hobbies are not just distractions, they're an essential part of who we are. They bring us joy, help us relax, and allow us to explore different facets of ourselves. In the end, the audiobook fiasco was a blessing in disguise. It forced her to confront the toxic reality of her relationship and make a choice. She chose herself, her sanity, and her love for the spoken word. And really, what's a better love story than that?